It's a new week and it presents us a fresh start for us to continue working on our dreams. Remember that the little things you do today will matter tomorrow. It's a pleasure to be back from the weekend here on Joy News Interactive. My name is Miss G. I am the Entertainment General, and I urge you to continue interacting with us via our social media platform on Facebook and Twitter as Joy News on TV. Now, you're live on the Joy News channel on Multi TV, DSTV channel 421, Go TV channel 144. And Adra Safo is still trending. So we'll be talking about her and the latest issue. The workers of Pantan Psychiatric Hospital have begun a sit-down strike in protest over encroachment of the hospital's land. Now, we'll also be talking about a lot here, but we'll be taking your thoughts on these issues. So we'll be glad if you can get your handset. But would you give your phone's password to your partner? Would you let them read your messages and have access to other private information? Well, let's know what you think. It's Joy News on Twitter and Facebook. Now, this morning, workers of the Pantan Psychiatric Hospital are not working. Now, their decision is to undertake a sit-down strike in protest of encroachment of their lands by private developers. Now, the workers have withdrawn services to mental health patients, with some of them staying away from the hospital's premises. According to them, this will go on until government addresses their concerns. Some of the private developers are said to have put up permanent structures, which, according to the head of staff at the hospital, this Kwabena, poses security threats to the patients and officials there. The hospital is home to about 2,000 patients, staff, and other hospital workers. So this morning we're asking you, what do you make of this issue? Do you think Ghana places much value on caring for mental health patients? Let's see how you've been reacting to this story on our Facebook page. And Judicious Odro Eric says, I support them 100% because our president told us all not to be spectators, but we should be good citizens. I heard this strike. Okay, I heard this strike is not based on your financial demand, but is to protest the state assets for individuals. So the government should intervene and investigate and set a dialogue over the uprising issue like this. And Kumaku says, there is no difference between a psychiatrist or mental home nurse or doctor and their patient. With my investigation made at the Accra Psychiatric Hospital, with the doctors and nurses behaving even twice the condition of the mental patients they perceive and turn out rather being themselves sick. Even just take a look at Dr. Osei and Dr. Danso mouth and conditions when they speak. Okay, I don't get what you're saying, but let's go to another comment by Adam. He says, yeah, we can't support them though, but we have to also think about the impact the strike will have on the hospital. All these encroachments were permitted by the institutions mandated to give such permits, and it's rather unfortunate that complaints made to government were not acted upon. And Yaima says, we don't value mental patients at all, and that's very bad. I think it's a good move, and government should treat this seriously. I think we want to say, okay, so-called private developers doing all that for their selfish gain. And was this not the same thing that happened to mapping and surveying school? And why should things like this be happening? Ghana for you, nothing goes right. That's from Nuebete Banton. That's what you think on the issue about the psychiatric workers planning or going on strike until government talks about the encroachment of their lands. Now, the president's first daughter has been disputing some claims. Edwina Ekufuado has rejected reports linking her to the fuel contamination saga involving the bulk oil storage distribution company limited, BOST. Now, she says she has no business whatsoever with the companies involved in purchasing the contaminated fuel. She was responding to claims reportedly made by a member of the opposition, NDC, Sami Jerifi, about rumors linking her to the scandal at Bost. Now, let's take your thoughts on this issue on Facebook. And Watson says, I don't understand is the incompetence. What I don't understand is the incompetence of this NDC party, even in opposition. I don't know why they are so desperate to link the president with scandals upon scandals. No wonder the only thing they can do is press conference upon press conference, even when they were losing an election. I just pray the press will start charging them for every conference they have. National Press Conference Party. And Benjamin says, oh, her part of the case should be closed unless Joy News have further evidence to prove otherwise. Either than that, what's the purpose for sharing the thoughts on the personal discussion on an individual? Well, Asante says, you don't have to think twice when you hear lame allegations like this. What's the motive behind this? The MPP said Nana has never indulged in any corrupt activity before, and so linking his daughter would be necessarily prove him wrong. But Ghanaians are much descending, and they don't buy any cheap and loose talk from the NDC again. And Odro Eric says, he who alleges must prove. The lady has spoken, paints the president and his government black. Opposition is still bitter, but I think they should use it by now, or they should be used to it by now. And Beju says, because the NDC propaganda will not leave innocent people alone. Madame Ativo is walking freely. They are talking about innocent people. My thoughts are that it's a political game by the NDC, but the BNI don't have to sweep it under the carpet. They should go underground and investigate. Unless Sami Jenfi provide evidence, if he has one, or else he should keep mute, okay? And Nana Addo is not in politics to make his daughter rich like his predecessor did to his brothers, okay? And Amidu says, if not because the MPP won power, the debt check Ibrahim Mahama issued to the GRA wouldn't have been recovered. And NDC should learn from their previous mistakes. Do they think Ghanaians are fools? And in Ghana, people make malicious accusations, not considering whose integrity or reputation is in jeopardy, all in the name of cheap politics. These people walk on the street and respond to honorable titles. Comments. Okay, so let's see if we have some more comments there on this issue. And Sami Jenfi is on a mission of cheap popularity, but he will fail and be disgraced badly. Now, over the weekend, 7,325 nurses graduated at the 51st congregation at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. At the event, Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Kwesi Obiri-Danso, had a suggestion. He said government should explore ways to officially export nurses similar to the Cuban model. According to him, this can be a solution to the problem of unemployed nurses in the country. In recent times, there have been persistent demonstrations and picketing by graduate nurses who are seeking posting. Do you agree with Professor Obiri-Danso's suggestion? Should Ghana start officially exporting some of its manpower to countries where their services are needed? And Yeti Moni says his point is quite understandable, but the bigger question is, don't we have the need of them or for them? They aren't unemployed because we have them in excess. They are simply unemployed because there are no existing hospitals to accommodate them. As a serious country, we should, as a matter of fact, direct our efforts towards putting up hospitals, schools, and other infrastructure so as to create employment avenues for our teeming unemployed youth. This is the reason why I would continue to praise the Eswal Mahama administration. They did a fantastic job, and I think posterity would indeed judge them favorably and positively. Odro Eric says, I think it's a good suggestion, and the government should embrace it since the number of unemployed nurses are higher than our medical facilities in the country. I don't think it will be possible for the government to build health facilities across the country that can employ all these nurses. And Natty Boy says, brilliant idea. We've got something and we do not need it or a place to keep it, and someone else needs the thing. All you need is to package and hire them for a fee. By doing so, they won't complete the course and cry for placement, thereby reducing unemployment. And not only nurses and other health professionals who are in the system. And the old man is wise. It's a good suggestion, and I agree with him 105%. But that is if they meet the standards there. And Otu Aqua says, this is such a masterpiece, brilliant idea. I think it will help reduce unemployment. Wise point. I have been always thinking about that option. Great move. Natty Boy says, even if the fact is that we do not have space to accommodate them, in the interim, we could export them and make money out of them, as they also get paid while we use the money we are making out of exporting them to build and expand our local hospitals and clinics. What do you think? You are asking. And do we have enough? You're asking. Zayden said we should rather build hospitals. And Lancelot says, since every lady wants to be a nurse. Let's take a break now. We'll be back with some more stories, including the trending address for here on Joy News Interactive. Please stay. Welcome back. So last week, the Member of Parliament for Kwabena constituency, Adjoa Safo, was trending. She's still trending, just that we thought that after the weekend we won't see her. But when it looked like the issue had died, there's a new breath of life to it. You may have heard this already, that the new patriotic party in the Kwabena constituency, which is her constituency, is backing her MP's claim that she negotiated with the World Bank to build a community day senior high school in the area. Many of you are taking to trolling her on social media. But looks like the MPP members in her constituency have a different opinion. Now, the MPP Communications Director for the constituency, Nana Nkrumah, defended the MP's claim and showed a document as evidence to its effect. Now, let's see the document on the screen. Okay, so briefly we'll show you the document, but the document is presented as evidence that Sarah Adjoa Safo was involved in the school project, but many say it doesn't justify her claim. We'll check out soon what you have been saying on this issue. So that's a document that the communications director of the constituency posted on social media to justify that his MP, Madam Adjoa Safo, indeed was involved in acquiring the land for the senior high school in the Kwabena constituency. And that letter has been signed. Beneath it, you see the signature purported to be that of Adjoa Safo on that letter, and also her name written twice. People are asking why her name was written twice. So we'll get to read your reaction to this letter, but the letter has been made public to all of us. Let's go see your reactions on this story. And Dean says, if you guys think you're smart, then you've made a big mistake. How can a whole MP spell a name in two different ways? It is Safo or Safo. So you ask me, is it Safo or Safo? Check the spelling on the letterhead and that of the salutation. And it says, your letter has no reference number or registration number. What is the meaning of GAB in the fourth paragraph? Which 100 senior secondary school projects are you referring to? Because the World Bank facility was for 23 schools. Are you telling us that after she voted against the loan for this project, she had no shame and was looking for the land for the government? Did you just collect the letter from a... Okay, so he's raised a lot of points. How come your purported letter from the GEC was written, the GACE was written to the MCE, and the MP who wrote to them was rather copied. Which administrative officer would reply a letter to someone who was not written to them, but rather copy the person who should have received the letter? So he's raised a lot of concerns, a lengthy one, about 11 of them, and some people have responded. Yofi Gates says, my thoughts. And Gareth says, you're brilliant, sir. And Michael Sego says, so Adjoa negotiated with the World Bank. Investigations have revealed that she has never worked with the World Bank, and it's also not true that the senior high school building was put up in the NDC stronghold, or were put up only in the NDC stronghold. Also, the world does not deal with individuals, but deals with countries. Adjoa can lie to ignorant MPP supporters. No wonder. Okay. So Billy says, head of the letter says Safo, and the end of the letter says Safo with an R. You mean the initial one was without an R? Ghana is funny. Politics, jokes, Ghana leaders and politics. Okay. All right. Yeah, you must. Ghanaians. You see, a Major Muhammad's topic is gone. Bost is also gone, and it's now Adjoa Safo. So until there is another different story, Adjoa Safo will be the talk of town always. And Adam says most of these politicians talk without making their own investigations and checks. I just don't know whether their actions are driven by the power they have. Eric says the minority should give us a break, because definitely Adjoa Safo is involved, and they cannot take that credit from her. After all, Ghana benefits, and I knew they will come defending this. They are all the same, MPP and NDC. Now it's clear that Kujeto Ablakwa lied. NDC, no shame. And Safo with an R, and Safo without an R production. Now, away from that, there's good news for Ghana. Meet Major Nana Chumesi Ankra. So, Major Nana Chumesi Ankra, he's the new personal assistant to the Queen of England. Now, he has been selected by the Queen to become the Queen's first black aide in the British history. Why is this important? He's Ghanaian born, who fought in the Afghanistan war, and he will fill one of the most important roles in the royal household. He will act as one of the Queen's most trusted attendants, assisting her with official engagements and welcoming high-profile guests to the royal residence. Now, this is big to him, his family, and of course, Ghana as a whole. Let's watch Ebe as he speaks on Britain's open and democratic society. Right, so that's Nana Chumesi Ankra speaking there, and he becomes the first black aide to the Queen of England. Beautiful video you've seen there. But let's see what you make of this as Ghanaian. And Ablo Bla says, this is nothing to be, okay. Slavery, okay, let's see. You think that is slavery and all that. And I'm proud as a Ghanaian and proud of this man too. His family and Ghana and Africa is proud of him. Kudos to him, and may he reach greater heights than this, inshallah. And I'm proud of him because he fought a good fight for his recommendation as a Queen's servant, and this should inspire some of us to make a total commitment over every work we are assigned to. Now, before I go, would you share your phone's password with your lover, husband, or wife? Would you like them to access your text messages, WhatsApp messages, and Facebook, Twitter, everything that you have on your phone? Well, most people find this various ways to secure information on their phone by using patterns, password, even thumbprints. Of course, a few do not mind sharing all these and giving their partners free access to their phones and all information most people deem private on their phones. I want to find out from you if you will willingly share your phone's password and pattern with your other half or partner. And let's check out a video first that I get to read your comments. After this video, a lot of you want to know how your names have been saved on your partner's phone. Free food, you know, Mr. Otia, which one? I don't know. But I'm sure we can't read Facebook messages because you're pressed for time. But We will be back tomorrow with some more here on Joy News Interactive. But catch me later in the evening on Joy News Prime as I bring you entertainment. My name is Miss G, and have a fruitful week. There's more here on the Joy News channel. Good morning.